Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger. My friends, we have a battle preview for A.K.I in Street Fighter 6, which is basically a small Twitter gameplay clip showing off the character, and we get just a lot of good info just in this video alone. A.K.I is very much a mystery in a lot of ways, but here we get some good gameplay ideas of what the character is capable of. It's not an exceptionally long clip. In fact, we're already almost at the end of it, but we'll break it down in slow-mo and see everything that A.K.I is capable of, not the least of which, I read the comments, I know what you guys are all about, so let's start you with perhaps the most important part of the trailer for y'all.
Ah, the perfect, beautiful, most brilliantly crafted poison!
So now, as A.K.I is replacing Juri as the dominant crazy lady of the franchise, they're very much putting that on display and marketing it as a major part of the character, let's put it that way. For the old timers in the audience here, the reference is, I believe, I'll have what she's having. And hey, we still got the gameplay to get to, right? So let's get to it because we see a lot of interesting things out of A.K.I here. So out of the gate, Chun-Li throwing EX Kikoken, and we can see A.K.I easily sliding through it with her EX slide. So just like Fang has slide, she has slide as well. And not only is it projectile immune, which is great, it also seemingly is full on strike invulnerable, like just full invulnerable all around. After going through the projectile here, Chun goes for crouch medium kick and it just clearly goes through A.K.I. So message I'm getting here is if you're willing to spend the meter, looks like you can kind of travel the screen pretty freely with very little consequence. Like, I guess you must be able to tag the recovery, but it doesn't look like there's much recovery considering Chun's kicking her when the move's basically already over. Our next sequence here, we see a bit of a jump in from A.K.I, appears to be a cross up, and then quick combo, and goes directly into poison, and then goes directly into detonating the poison. So if you didn't see from the previous trailers, we know that she has a mechanic where she can poison you, naturally enough, and once you're poisoned, she has certain moves keyed, like this move right here, that can detonate the poison. It'll knock you down, and then you'll get additional damage. So the whole name of the game is applying the poison, then detonating the poison. The one thing about this is both the special moves, because they are separate special moves, seemingly chain into each other. So perhaps that's a property of it that if you go for the poison, you are allowed to immediately follow up into the detonation as well. Handy for situations where you're just directly comboing into it, I suppose. From here, we go into her command leap. So it's not quite a normal jump. It's a special move, and she's attacking while going down from the jump. And I guess the biggest takeaway from here is Chun-Li goes for the reversal right after the fact, and A.K.I does get the block. So this is safe-ish. I'll have to see, against like a 4-framer right in her face. I don't know, but safe-ish anyways. So she has multiple ways with this and the slide to just traverse the whole length of the screen without necessarily having to earn her way in. For as much as we all say we love neutral in fighting games, we also love skipping neutral, right? And it looks like A.K.I can do exactly that. Now, of course, block the reversal, you get your punish. So we see a quick strike here. This looks like it's a target combo because it does animate kind of very fluidly into itself. So it could be as simple as like light punch into medium punch. And we get the special. This is the Serpent Lash. So we saw that it detonates poison, but if there's no poison on the enemy yet, it just simply applies the poison and leaves them standing. After this, we see another Serpent Lash. And now this one, because the poison on, does detonate the poison. And then uses the pop-up to set up the poison ground puddle, which poisons you if you step in it. Just in case you haven't been following along with the character, the gimmick is poison, 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 poison. Now after this sequence, she goes into, I'm assuming, her snake stance, because we do have multiple attacks out of her snake stance. And it does very clearly go through Kikoken like nothing, right? And no meter spent, no nothing, right? So she may be exceptionally strong against zoners, which, considering the meta is now shifting more and more and more towards JP, perhaps that's a very good thing. And the punish counter on this move does force a full crumple into combo. So we see here EX Serpent Lash that brings A.K.I into the enemy with a follow-up hit. Then we do raw drive rush after the fact to keep the juggle going. And then another EX Serpent Lash, but the follow-up's different this time. Not quite the same move. Here we see herself pulling herself in and giving the big old double palm, right? And that just kind of rejuggles Chun-Li for more combo potential. That's cool, but the other one, same startup as we saw before, but no big double palm, right? In fact, it looks like she's just resetting the neutral and then doing her poison bubble attack. So it could be as simple as like hold the button, you get the follow-up, don't hold the button, you don't get the follow-up. Don't know for sure, But obviously this is the same move with 2 different follow-up applications. I guess we'll find out soon enough. She is launching this month. And the whole sequence caps off with her level 1 super. She's very flexible, as you can see, and knocks the enemy up in big ol' balls of poison. And yes, you can see her, she's flying up a little bit. I mentioned in the original trailer how I noticed that at the end of the super she's flapping down, but at the start of the super she's also flapping her way up. So that's another part of the Fang influence, as he is a master of flight. She flaps her arms to fly up and flaps her arms to safely land after the move is over. Which gives me hopes. I know she's not even out yet, but like later seasons, right? Maybe she'll actually get a fly move. And after that whole setup, we see that snake stance yet again and into the command grab. Perfect parry all you want. That's not going to save you from getting choked out. So obviously, with the whole setup and needing to be in the stance, it's not going to be quite as good as like spinning pile driver. But given you can do multiple things from the stance, and the character obviously has a lot of things to worry about, as Aki seems to have quite a few tricks, I think that's a valuable tool in the arsenal. And off this, well, she wins the round as it were. So just from this little bit of Aki, we've seen some Aki now, and this gives us even a better idea yet of what she's capable of, not the least of which the attitude. There seems to be a big market for the crazy lady in fighting games. Aki has made this abundantly clear to me, and even just seeing this win pose here really nails that home. And all in all, this makes me just really excited to play Aki. So Rashid launched, and yeah, Rashid had new stuff, but Rashid was Rashid in the end, right? Aki, even though very obviously enough there is influences of Fang, she's still very much her own character with her own very unique game plan, and her game plan's, as far as we've seen, like nothing else in Street Fighter 6. It'll be interesting to see, because what is Ed with a game with modern controls, right? Like, because Ed was like almost like the test bed for modern controls, because he was all easy inputs. And Akuma, I'm sure he'll do cool stuff, but he'll be Akuma in the end. So Aki, to me, of the 4 DLC characters, is easily the most fresh and interesting of the DLC characters. So I'm just really interested to see what she's going to be all about. That said, though, that is our battle preview of Aki. I'm happy that they put out just a little bit something, especially because, you know, Mortal Kombat 1 is kind of taking up the news cycle now. And just looking forward to seeing how she'll play when she launches later this month in September. But until then, well, that's the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.
Love me.